April 3rd, 1975. Anatoly Karpov becomes the 12th world chess champion without playing a single game. Bobby Fischer, the most dominant force chess had ever seen, simply refused to defend his title. The conditions weren't right. The prize fund wasn't enough. Whatever the reason, he was gone. And this 24-year-old Soviet player inherited the crown. But here's the thing. Everyone knew it. There was an asterisk next to his name. He was called Paper World Champion. So what does Karpov do? He goes to war. For the next 3 years, Karpov plays in almost every major tournament on Earth, and he produces one of the most relentless campaigns in sports history. Milan 1975, the strongest tournament since World War II. Portoroge 1975, Karpov wins with 15 out of 22 points. Soviet Championship 1976, against legends like Tal, Smyslov, and Petrosian, Karpov finishes a full point ahead. Bad Lauterberg 1977, Las Palmas 1977, first place, 13.5 out of 15 games. Tilburg 1977, first place. By the time he arrived in Baguio City for his first title defense, Karpov had won 9 consecutive tournaments. The asterisk was gone. In its place, fear. The fear of a boa constrictor. Karpov's playing style earned him a nickname, the boa constrictor. He didn't attack you. He didn't sacrifice pieces for brilliant combinations. That wasn't his game. Instead, he squeezed. Every move made your position slightly worse. Every piece you tried to activate, he shut it down. Look at this position from 1974. Karpov played bishop a7. One quiet move. But now black has no counterplay on the a-file. His pieces can't breathe. His opening preparation was years ahead of his opponents. When you sat down to play Karpov, he'd analyzed your favorite openings deeper than you had. You'd play your pet line, and he'd respond instantly with a novelty that crushed you. But perhaps most terrifying was his psychology. He never celebrated wins. He never showed emotion. Win or lose, nothing. He was too focused on the art of chess rather than the outcome of it.
Without chess, I couldn't live, because if somebody sees a game of chess for the first time and recognize how beautiful it is, he really cannot live anymore without chess.
And now, it was time for his first title defense. Karpov versus Korchnoi. In Baguio City, the stage was set for the most bizarre match in chess history. The format? First to 6 wins. Draws don't count. This could go on forever. As expected, Karpov decimated Korchnoi in the first half. The score was 5-2 in favor of Karpov. Just one more and the title was secure. But Korchnoi wasn't done. He won 3 games in a row, and suddenly, the match was tied, 5-5. But it was not enough for Korchnoi. Karpov won game 32 to secure the world championship.
World champion Anatoly Karpov.
If the first reign was about proving legitimacy, the period from 1979 to 1981 was about total, unassailable dominance. This was the era of Karpovian prophylaxis, where his tournament results were so consistent that he seemed to have solved the game of chess itself for a brief window. His ELO rating stabilized above 2,700. For context, in 1979, only 2 players in history had ever reached 2,700. Fischer, Karpov, and that's it. Just those 2. But no world champion before had maintained this level of dominance for this long. 1979, the Tournament of Stars in Montreal. This was supposed to be the strongest tournament ever assembled. Karpov and Tal tied for first with 12 out of 18. And he just kept going. Bad Kissingen, 1980. Lugano, 1980. Amsterdam, 1980. Linares again in 1981. It was like he'd solved chess, like he'd found a cheat code and nobody else had access to it. 1981, Merano, Italy. Karpov's second World Championship match. His opponent, once again, was Viktor Korchnoi, the same man he'd defeated in 1978. But in 1981, this wasn't even close. By Game 4, he'd won 3 games, 3 wins in 4 games, against one of the greatest players who ever lived. The final score was 11-7. They called it the Massacre in Merano. Karpov was 30 years old, double world champion, and at the absolute apex of his powers. The victories kept coming. Tilburg, 1982, his 4th win at that tournament. Soviet Championship, 1983, his 3rd national title. 9 years, over 35 major tournament victories, and he showed no signs of slowing down. The chess world had simply accepted it. This was the natural order. Karpov was going to win. The only question was by how much. At his peak, the gap between him and the world's number 2 player was over 100 points. Between 1975 and 1984, Karpov entered 34 major tournaments. He won 28 of them. That's an 82% tournament winning percentage over a 9-year period. But it gets crazier. In chess Olympiads, Karpov represented the Soviet Union on board 1. He played 68 total games. He lost 2 losses in 68 games, a 97.1% undefeated rate at the highest level of team chess for over a decade. Against Boris Spassky, he won 13 times, with 1 loss and 22 draws. Mikhail Tal never beat him, not once in his career. Robert Hubner, Lev Polugaevsky, Viktor Korchnoi. These weren't club players. These were world championship candidates, former world champions, the absolute elite of an entire generation, and Karpov made them look helpless. I compiled all of his tournaments from 1975 to 1984. His tournament record is crazy. Look at this. For 9 years, he rarely lost a tournament. In fact, he only lost 6 tournaments in 10 years. For a whole decade, such was the dominance of Karpov in his times. By 1983, he brought down all his peers and old guard to his knees. But now, the next generation of players are starting to appear. While Karpov was dominating in Moscow, Garry Kasparov was tearing through the candidate cycle. Kasparov was winning candidates matches by devastating margins. The collision was inevitable. Karpov had conquered tournaments. He'd conquered matches. But time conquers everyone.